Hi, I got this question. How can what I eat affect my sleep? I'll say the question again. How can what I eat affect my sleep? That's a recent question I got, and I thought it was a really good question because our nutrition affects so much of us. It affects our emotional health, our mental health, our physical health. It really affects us from head to toe, inside out. So there is definitely a diet and sleep connection. So definitely, we already talked about your cutoff time for food should be 3 hours before your bedtime. But what should you be eating? So this is going to differ from person to person. So if you're a person that you find that you're lactose intolerant, and if you have that big bowl of macaroni and cheese, your stomach is going to be gurgling and you're going to be paying for it with extreme symptoms of lactose intolerance come 10, 11 o'clock, making it difficult to sleep. So it's going to differ from person to person. If you have gluten intolerance, you should not be having that in your evening meal. I know a lot of us like spicy foods, foods with, flavorful, full of spice, but really hot, spicy foods make it difficult to go to sleep. So that's also something you want to keep in mind. Ideally, you want something that's high in tryptophan. So turkey is high in tryptophan. That's why we all fall asleep and go to sleep hardcore after our Thanksgiving meal, after that big serving of turkey. So tryptophan is actually one of our relaxing elements that actually helps us to get to sleep at night. Also fatty fish with the omega-3 fatty acids. So having salmon for dinner is also another great option. So you definitely want to look at what you're eating before you go to bed at night. Some of the other things we talked about earlier too is melatonin. There are foods that have natural melatonin in it. One of our top foods we talked about is tart cherry juice. I've had some clients recently, they change out their evening wine for tart cherry juice. And it still has that kind of flavorful kind of tartness that wine has, but now it really helps them to go to sleep. Alcohol actually is a sedative. It will help you drift off, but it totally disrupts your sleep architecture every single night. So sleep architecture is just a fancy term for the 4 phases of sleep that you should be entering in. It totally messes that up in a nicer sense words. So you definitely want to avoid that alcohol close to bedtime. We already talked about the timing of meals. So definitely looking at melatonin meals. I have some great melatonin smoothies. A really fun smoothie to have is with cherries, blueberries, and grapes. That's one of the reasons that wine does help to put people to sleep and give that sedative effect. It's really because of the grapes. So you can bypass the alcohol and really get some amazing, amazing effects with the grapes themselves. So let's talk about hydration. I had a client recently, she couldn't understand why she just couldn't stay asleep. She was drinking a sleepy tea before bed. I love those teas, but I have found as my client and myself get older, we will have to use the bathroom from drinking those teas before bed. So I highly recommend that if you like the herbs in those teas, and some of those herbs can be valerian, chamomile, dandelion roots, also very sedative. Those herbs can be really great to help you get to sleep at night. Of course, after checking with your professional healthcare provider, whoever they may be, if those herbs don't interact with any other medications that you're taking. So you definitely want to look into that. But drinking that nighttime tea, if it disrupts you, it helps you to go to sleep, but you have to wake up to basically pee the tea out. That's totally goes against what we need to get done in terms of getting that good, deep, consistent sleep. So those are just some of the really quick tips I wanted to provide. Yes, the answer is food does affect your sleep. I want you definitely to watch out if you're allergic to anything. Watch out for that. If you're lactose intolerant, glucose intolerant, watch out for those things that will disrupt your sleep, like high spicy foods. Definitely maybe do those at lunchtime so that they're worn out by the time you go to bed. Do that for that. Watch your liquid consumption. Have a cutoff for your liquid consumption, including herbal teas. Take the herbal teas in capsule or powder form and ditch the tea version. Definitely have that cutoff time we talked about for meals, and look at foods that are high in melatonin, like your grapes, your pistachios, your tart cherry juice. Your regular cherries are actually very good too. I love those in a smoothie. Add in a banana, we'll throw in a good dose of extra magnesium that will definitely relax your muscles. So yes, food does affect your sleep. I want to thank you today for joining this. I have some amazing sleep recipes down below in my free starter kit. No cost free starter kit. You'll see that below. Get your recipes today, and I'll see you next time.